Gang, do you have a garbage question that the boys have to hear? Do you like stand-up comedy? You like having a night out with the boys, having a couple of pops? Come see an Are You Garbage live show.
Yeah, we got a second show added in San Francisco, then Portland, Seattle, Brea, California, Burlington, Vermont, Boston, Massachusetts, low ticket alert, Atlanta, Georgia, Charlotte, North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, Baltimore, Maryland, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania,
Big one.
at the Met, Rochester, New York, and Toronto. Get your tickets now at areyougarbage.com, and we'll see you on the road.
Back on the block.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Are You Garbage? The show where you find out if your favorite comedians are classy individuals or absolute trash. Now, here are your hosts, Kevin Ryan and H. Foley.
Hey, everybody out there, and welcome back to everybody's favorite podcast. This is Are You Garbage?
Oh, yeah.
It's that little show we sit down with your favorite comedians, and we find that if they're to be classy, if they're just a big old piece of trash.
Trash.
I'm your host, H. Foley, coming at you on a beautiful day. We're out back here at Tootie's in a new edition. She drank all the milk.
Okay.
So if you're looking for a bowl of cereal,
I'm screwed.
you're going to have to use coffee creamer.
All right.
Second time I told her, don't drink all the milk.
All right.
All right, fair enough.
Yikes.
7 hours down the drain. My co-host is coming at you from right next to me. He is the CEO of Are You Garbage. He is an international businessman and my best pal in the whole wide world. Give it up for KJ, Kevin James Ryan, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. As always, please make sure you rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. Full video available on YouTube. Also, full video available over there on Spotify, baby. And those numbers are cooking.
In the charts over there.
I know. Then the best website of all time. My brain is mush. The best website of all time, www.patreon.com/areyougarbage. Go over there, get all that bonus content, gang.
And gang, we couldn't be more excited to have our incredibly, and I mean incredibly special guest here with us today for the first time. He is a very funny, very successful stand-up comedian, podcaster, and author. And you might have seen him in, but not limited to. You got Gotham Comedy Live, Fox and Friends, Nashville Squares, The Tonight Show as of recently. You can hear him every week on his amazing podcast, Net Positive. He has multiple stand-up specials out, including John Crist would like to release a statement. What are we doing? And his brand new special, Emotional Support, which already got 3 million views over there on the YouTube. He's got his book, Delete That, and he's going to be kicking off a fall tour. August 31st in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Encore Theater, the Jokes for Humans tour. Do me a favor. Give it up for Mr. John Crist.
Oh, man.
Look at you.
That was the best intro I ever got.
Thank you, buddy. And
was
I
great.
did it with the ears going in and out
I
on
know.
the
So
thing.
did I.
Luke's throwing me curveballs
Luke,
over
you're
there.
killing me over there. Luke's got a new setup, and he screwed us.
Yeah,
Oh,
John
yeah.
Crist in here.
It's coming in and out. I got
Look at
it,
that
though.
shacket. Look at that nice shacket he's got on.
I got it.
You're in here blowing it.
Yeah,
Really
come on,
showing your ass,
Oh,
Luke.
look at you crawling
He-
in like a rat.
He's under the
it's-
table.
yeah.
This is an all-time flub by new guy Luke. That's actually might have fixed it there, big dog.
That
That's
might
a
have
little
fixed it.
crisp.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lucas Patukas.
Appreciate you, bud.
We got to get you in all black like a stagehand.
It's going to go back out again.
Yeah, he's fired. I don't know what you're talking about.
John, thank you so much for coming in, buddy.
And
an
I
honor to be here.
apologize for Luke's behaviors thus far.
No, I'm honored to be
Look
here.
at the dude. Look at the beard.
good
Keeps
one.
it tight.
Good-looking kid.
Look at you.
Good-looking
What are you,
guy.
34, 35?
Oh, yeah, I'll take that 41.
41.
Oh,
Holy shit. Are those veneers or are they yours?
No, these are real.
God
This
damn
is
it.
a wild
Good-
podcast.
good.
man.
What kind of underwear you got on? Huh?
Oh, yeah. Let's get to it.
I've never been called out so quick. We also did get pretty bogged down on how he looked right away.
Hey, good looking kid. What do you
This is
want
wild.
from me? I haven't been out of the house in a couple of days. Buddy, give us the backstory. Give us the origin story.
Oh, no, dude.
Yeah.
Uh,
The Southern boy, I believe.
Is that right?
Southern boy. Yep. One of 8 kids.
Whoa.
Wait,
Yeah.
you are or your parents are?
I'm one of 8.
That's old
Holy
school
hillbilly.
stuff.
God damn it. One of
kids.
8.
Dad is a Pentecostal preacher.
stuff. Really?
I don't know what's funny about that. But
Yeah.
No, I'm just
We're
kidding.
Catholics around
Yes.
This
here.
is the beginning of a
Yeah.
Stephen King novel. I like it.
Everybody homeschooled.
That's what's funny about it.
Shoot,
That's all the time we have
Wait
today.
a minute.
You're like, we're good.
Hold
I think we
on
got
a
it.
second.
And,
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Yeah,
Where are you from exactly?
Lilburn, Georgia.
sounds like a rapper. Lil Burn.
He just got shot, didn't he?
Shout out Lil Burn. He's in with that Drake.
It's not a good start.
Little
Yeah.
Burn, Georgia?
I think
Lilburn,
Lil.
Georgia.
Holy
Yeah.
How do you spell it? L-I-L?
Lalburn. One word, though.
One- okay.
Yes, Lil Burn.
Apostrophe.
Yeah,
What record label is he on?
Lil Burn.
One of 8 kids.
Yeah.
Your dad's a preacher.
Yep.
What'd your mom do?
Stay-at-home mom. 8?
What kind of kid?
I know.
What kind of
That's
kid?
a lot of daycare you're paying for.
What do I think it's? Well, so my I wish any of these were made up, but my extended family is Amish.
Really?
Get the fuck out of here.
Where Amish?
So my grandparents split off from the Amish community and went to Mennonite. It's
Right.
like
Yeah.
Amish
light.
but electricity.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
They can watch football.
Yeah, but they still know they don't believe in healthcare. They don't believe in war.
I see them at the Wawa outside, like in Lancaster.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That's
yeah.
where my parents are from.
No
That's where we spend
shit.
every Christmas.
Whoa.
Really?
We used to
In
go
the
and
dark.
watch your family at
Yeah.
field trips. Really, we'd go on a bus and
Exploit
go
us.
and be like, "Look at these fucking haircuts these guys got."
That explains the pies you brought.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, so they
Nothing on that?
my family, my parents grew up like that.
Wow.
They became Mennonite, and then my dad went to seminary
Huh.
and then if Mennonite broke off from Amish, Pentecostal kind of broke off from Mennonite. Yeah.
No shit.
Wow.
So
Wait,
that's
so
a-
your parents were both Amish? From
extended family, like grandparents. What does that mean?
Grandparents
What
were
does this
Amish.
mean? Stop him? Or what is You went like this.
this guy's putting the whole system on trial. Came in with his Amish magic,
Throw some,
and he's tricking us.
can you read my thoughts? Throw some Skittles in front of me. I just get distracted. Wait, your
I
parents.
realized that, wow, he's the only one to ever pick up on that. I have an odd body language thing with you where I have to clear the air because I see you getting confused.
Your grandparents were Amish.
Grandparents were
Yeah.
Amish.
Your grandfather broke off.
Yeah.
So damn, they were in like the same town or whatever.
Yeah,
your
Lancaster,
grandparents-
Pennsylvania.
Holy
Yeah.
shit!
He was ran a dairy
No
dairy
way.
farmer. Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Probably good milk.
Great milk.
Yeah.
Great.
Tony
milk.
needs
Yeah.
some.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait a minute. That's pretty good. Wait. So how would you guys go back and spend Christmas there? Weren't they shunned?
We still do. All right. So in the
You go
in
to the Mennonite side, not the
Am-
Amish.
No, the
Oh,
Amish
okay.
side. We go to the Amish side.
But they're
Really?
Mennonites now.
yeah.
You're not hanging with the Amish, you're hanging with the
No,
Mennonites.
we're hanging with the Amish.
Dude, you must roll in like a dude from the future.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah,
blowing people's minds.
They're like, what? Yeah. They don't know about the Tonight Show, but if they did,
they'd be
They'd be-
impressed.
Jimmy Fallon.
they'd be impressed. Well, okay, so if you leave, so the Mennonite church is the Amish church is having problems now because people are finding out about stuff,
Sure.
like the internet. Like if
Sure.
it just
Yeah.
when you
Oh, they're fine. Yeah, I got you.
well, every cult, it's not a cult. I love the family I'm from, but every religious
like that, yeah, of
org
course.
has to have control of information.
Sure.
And once a kid goes, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing in Times Square? I'm out of here.
outta here.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So you know what Rumspringer is?
Yeah, what's the rate on that? Don't a lot of them, probably less and less, are going now. The Temptations are.
Oh,
greater.
everybody's so at 18 you can go out, do whatever you want for as long as you want, and then once you come back and join, you got to be under the rules of the
Sure.
the bishop. So
Okay.
a lot of people, what they're doing now is leaving and then hanging around the community and never joining,
Ah.
so they can have an iPhone, but they're
in the world a little bit.
yeah, but they're chill, but they still like to have the baked goods and they're still Christian, but they're like, I vape.
Sure.
Yeah, and I shouldn't say that about. But they're like, you exposed us on Are You Garbage?
It's like when you.
They'll never see this.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like-
Look at Todd Jimmy Fallon.
He's sitting down with Jimmy Fallon and Robert De Niro.
I love the Amish.
The best.
Yeah, great.
I've been
people.
watching a lot of YouTube videos about Amish people recently. That's crazy. And also that's like,
Man, they throw
as
out,
we're two
Lancaster.
dirtbags from the Philadelphia area, so Lancaster,
Yeah,
that's like
yeah.
crazy to
they
us.
throw
Wow.
out a buffet up there near Dutch Wonderland that'll blow
That's
your
The world's
hair
largest
back.
buffet is out
Woo!
there.
Yeah.
I don't know
A
what
lot
they
of
put in
baked
that gravy.
goods.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know the Mormons, they're the ones that don't do caffeine.
Yes.
so-
Salt Lake City, you can't get a cup of
You
coffee.
can't do caffeine. So, but I said if the religion, because they updated, they're like, all right, we got to include black people, like back in the 70s, which is very
There was
late.
no
the
black
Amish?
Amish?
No, this is Mormons.
Okay. There was no black Mormons. Or
Yeah, so
less.
they're like no caffeine. You could tell it's kind of the rules were kind of created on the go because it really should be no sugar,
Gotcha.
right?
Sure. That makes sense.
Because they were like no caffeine. But back in remember the 80s, like caffeine was like you have a Dr. Pepper before bed, and you don't know
Yeah.
what you're gonna dream about.
Sure.
And now it should if they're updating the Mormons should be because sugar. We grew up. Sugar's great.
Hey, look at us. Yeah.
No one when I was growing up, no one ever had a problem. No one ever was like, watch the sugar.
Yeah.
Never.
No.
We had pixie sticks, dude.
I know. Shout out to them. We still got them here if you need any. We're not Amish.
The
You
candy,
let the black people in, you get rid of the sugar. You're trying to explain this to them. They're all just staring at you.
All right. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So, how are you able to go back?
okay,
Because your grandparents were obviously in
yeah.
the
My
church.
great grandmother was
they
an
weren't
Amish church.
So they weren't shunned. That's not necessarily shunned, or they were.
No, they left. They left the Amish church.
Okay. So there's
Yeah.
there's still an olive branch between them and the community.
They still hang.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whose house do you stay at when you guys go back there for Christmas?
I stay in a hotel. So there's a place called. This is gonna blow your mind, but there's a place out north of Sarasota. You look it up. It's called
Sarasota, New York.
Sarasota, Florida.
Oh,
It's
okay.
called Pinecraft. It's like Amish. I don't know what's any way to describe it. It's Amish Las Vegas. I know this is my life, you guys. No, I'm just joking.
This
Yeah.
is crazy.
So Amish so every you have to join the Amish church.
Okay.
Okay, so you pretty much report to your Christianity. You can kind of just be out here.
You're hanging. baby.
Yeah. There's no
I'm
accountability.
in. I'm out. Maybe
Whose
not.
church do you go to? I watch online.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
not a
yeah.
lot of rules. The Amish communities are very close knit.
Mm-hmm.
So you are in charge of the pastor you report to. So the Florida bishop is it's like spring break bishop. He's kind of chill.
Yeah.
He's like a summer school teacher.
Yeah.
He's
So
vibing.
they have bikes.
Whoa.
No cars. They have bikes with electric motors though. I know.
Wait, so that's where you go at Christmas? You don't go? You don't go to
Pinecraft.
Lancaster?
We go to Pinecraft. Lancaster we used to go to for like my first 30 years of life. Now we go to the spring break.
And when you would go to Lancaster, where would you stay at? Like one of your cousin's house?
Hotel.
You'd still stay at a hotel.
Yeah.
So you weren't staying in the house with no electricity or anything
No.
like that?
We don't go in that. No, we can. Well, my parents broke it. My parents aren't with that.
Okay.
We wouldn't. They wouldn't do that.
Well, who do you go and visit up there?
Just the community.
So at
all
some
the
point,
cousins, all the people.
Where are
that
you doing that?
Making leather belts and stuff like that.
where are you doing that? At like their house?
They're all around the community. We go visit them,
Nice.
see what they're up to.
What's that like?
Show
What's
'em the
what's an
outside.
Amish Christmas? It's probably pretty homey and
They don't
cozy.
celebrate Christmas.
No.
No,
Devil's
dude, they don't have
work.
Christmas.
Oh, there's no Christmas tree and like,
No, dude. No.
apple pies and
No, probably have-
ham and all that stuff?
Well,
Is it all food with you? They don't have sherbet or.
hey.
Hey, easy.
So you just do that at that time. Do you guys celebrate Christmas?
Yeah, we do, but my cousins don't.
Your cousin up there don't.
Yeah, everybody kind of broke away and they decide what they're
What
gonna
they do and what they don't do. Wow.
They don't do Halloween up in the Amish.
No, we don't do Halloween.
You don't do Halloween.
My family don't do Halloween. Which I have a joke in my show. It's like, how can we believe in this God of the universe? It's almighty, all powerful. Then the 6-year-old puts on an Elsa dress. He's like, nah, nothing I can do. He's like, we lost her.
Give the kid a Snickers.
Yeah, we lost her.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Okay.
This
And
might be the first Amish bloodline, right?
Yeah.
We have?
It's a lot of pressure.
an Italian guy once.
Yeah.
All right. So let's back this up.
I'm baffled. All right. So, but you specifically grew up in Georgia, right?
My dad moved to Georgia to start in essence, it's called the Atlanta Vineyard, a Pentecostal church.
Started his own church.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 8 kids. Where do you fall in the 8 kids?
Third.
You're third oldest.
Yeah. Third from the top.
How many boys? How many girls?
5 boys, 3 girls.
5 boys, 3 girls.
So-
Where'd your dad meet your mom?
At Mennonite College,
Really?
Goshen College.
She was Mennonite too.
Yeah.
Goshen, New York?
Goshen, Indiana.
I'm missing
Yeah.
what you said.
What? There's a Sarasota, New York?
Atlanta, Utah?
I never heard of this
There's
place.
a Saratoga, New York.
I'm thinking of the racetrack. These cans are all fucked up. Luke's got my can.
Sarah, say the list. I got it. I'll
The
take it from
Mennonite
here.
Derby? Is that where they
Hey,
met?
listen, you're Amish. You can't be judging me.
Oh, good.
Take that with a grain of salt or a bale of hay, whatever you guys are doing.
Saratoga.
Put on a Halloween mask and scare the shit out
I
of you.
always got, dude. Man,
All right.
they used to
Wow.
make fun of me, the Amish.
All right, there's
guys.
a big Amish community in Shipshewana, Indiana. That's the real name of the city. There's 650 people that live there. There's a Blue Gate Theater. Every year I go there, I sell 7,000 tickets.
Really?
I wish I could sell a ticket in New York City.
Sure, yeah,
But Shipshawana,
Wait, do you have a big Amish following?
like a very like conservative, like a Christian following.
Amish
kidding.
adjacent, maybe.
Yeah, that they kind of like they're like our buddy down the street has Netflix.
Gotcha.
That's kind of my.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We're not gonna. We still go to church, but like, have you heard this Cardi B?
Sure,
Kinda-
more
kinda-
modernized.
Yeah. So
Get
I
with the times.
Yeah,
you know
I
what
like
mean?
that. I'm
yeah,
with
because my
that.
parents we were homeschooled because they didn't want us to learn about evolution.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, I went to public school. I don't ever remember anybody. Do we really learn about evolution?
Couple of weeks, I think.
Really?
I just remember the diagram of
With the toad?
the
or-
monkey
or the-
walking, and then all of
Nah,
a
I
sudden
don't-
it was a dude.
I mean,
That's enough, right?
that's enough to get you. That's,
Yeah.
All right, I'm with
Not
never
too
mind.
much, dude. He's gone. We
So-
left him. Yeah.
So your mom did the teaching.
Yeah.
Now, how was that conducted? So wait, what's the full span between the youngest and the oldest?
All right, so I'm 41. My oldest brother's 45. The youngest is probably 25. So it was every 2 years for 16 years.
Wow.
So my mom was
I just
either
had a
pregnant
baby.
or
That's a
breastfeeding
lot.
for 16 years.
So how many kids are in your class, would you say, as you're coming up? At the
One-
most.
I mean, it's
one.
class.
You know what I mean? Like, how many kids was your mom
not a
teaching at
school.
this-
My 4 brothers. I
So
remember.
about four-
Yeah,
about
4.
four
But
each.
the different grades.
Right.
They still have, I think. But then your brother would write a message in like the chapter 8, and then 2 years later you'd
You
get
get
it.
the
You're
book.
like, oh yeah.
You had
Well,
textbooks?
Yeah, they're like Christian. Again, they'd be like, if Jesus had 5 loaves and 2 fish, he gave 3 loaves away. How many? Like all the math was
Sure,
taught in the Bible.
They always made those loaves of bread look so good.
Yeah.
I don't know what
If
it
the
was.
Jews kill your savior, how many?
How many do you have left? Yeah.
Holy shit.
For question 1.
Gang, this is an ad by BetterHelp. You know, we're big on the mental health journey over here.
Some of us are.
Some of us are.
Uh-huh.
I'm not crazy. Not no more.
Not with better, not because you got better help.
That's right. But you know what? There's a lot of stigmas involved with men taking their mental health seriously.
Oh, is there, pitch man?
Men today face immense pressure to perform, to provide, and keep it all together. I'm losing it. So it's no wonder that 6 million men in the United States suffer from depression every year, and it's often undiagnosed. If you got some stuff going on, gang, do yourself a favor. Reach out to BetterHelp. You can do it from the privacy of your own home with a licensed therapist at a fraction of the cost.
Yes, we're we said it a million times. We're big proponents of talk therapy here. It's a great tool to use for a short term, for a long term, every week. If you're just in a rough patch, just to get it out and get a little bit of perspective, add some light to it. Shine the light. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Hi, get rid of the fucking shadows. Get out of Shadowville. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/garbage. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/garbage. Do it. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Factor.
Shout out to Factor.
Summertime's here.
Yeah.
We're both taking another run at our health.
Uh-huh.
Losing weight. You're killing it.
Thank you.
All right. I'm taking steps.
Sure.
You got a busy summer coming up. You want nutritious, delicious meals that you don't have to think about? Do yourself a favor. Get over to Factor. They're absolutely fantastic.
Yes. Guys, Factor Meals arrives fresh and ready to eat. Perfect for any active lifestyle over the summer and beyond. They have 45 weekly menu options. You can pick from gourmet meals that fit your summer gains, your goals. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Listen, it has been a fantastic way to just go, I get a couple of them a week, and I lean, and I go, boom, shredded chicken. I'm coming home. I got my triggers. I'm all tired or whatever.
We ain't selling you. These babies sell themselves.
I'm going to get pizza. And I go, don't stop and get pizza. I got a Factor at the house. It'll be ready in 2 minutes. I throw it on the pan, shoot. I got the
Chicken
shredded
taco.
taco bowl in the gullet with a water. I'm out the door.
Let's go.
It's fantastic. So here it is. Get started at factormeals.com/garbage50 off and use code garbage50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code garbage50 off at factormeals.com/garbage50 off for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/garbage50 off. Do it. Do it.
So you did that all the way through high school?
I went to my mom when she had the 8th kid. She kind of went into like a depressive, like this is which I would have had that after too. Like she was like,
a lot of work.
she went into postpartum, and then they sent us to private school.
Private school.
Yeah.
It's a private school. There's an asterisk on this private school. It was
What do you mean?
sweater vest and
Christian school.
Okay.
Yeah. I should just say Christian.
How old were you when that happened?
8th grade.
8th grade, and so you got to do high school pretty regularly.
Yeah, once a 5 days a week.
Right.
Yeah, 8th. I went to high school.
It was a regular experience. You're
Yeah.
saying.
That's
I mean,
what
it was
Regularly
still
means
you
the
still had to tuck your shirt in. We still had to say the Pledge of Allegiance and memorize Bible scriptures and
Yeah,
stuff.
we
like
did
that.
the Pledge of Allegiance, I think.
Oh,
right?
that's everybody.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that everybody? Yeah.
America.
No, I'm no commie. You know what I mean?
We all did it.
Red-blooded American here.
I like a candy corn. I'm not the devil.
Okay. And how big was this house?
I feel like you guys are like investigators.
We
You're
are.
like, we
well,
don't-
listen,
This is
you're
what we're doing.
trash. You're
Yeah.
trash. But this is mostly
You're like,
scientific at this point.
the jury's not out anymore.
No. They came back in 3 minutes.
I'm teetering, to be honest with you.
They're like, I'm trying to convince the last witness, but you're already.
Dude,
yeah.
the way you look and dress, and I figure
That's
he's
not
outside
blown
Vegas
away.
or something.
Yeah.
He was born. You know what I mean? He grew up off the strip.
That's worse.
He's got a good teeth, but you got the good teeth and
Oh
everything.
yeah. I don't know how it
It's all
worked
that
out.
milk.
Yeah.
This kid's all vitamin D.
Okay. All right. So how big was the house? How many bedrooms was this house?
It was a refurbished.
You don't refurbish a house. You refurbish a cell phone,
It was
not
a
house.
refurbished train station.
What?
Hey, you're looking at us like we're
Guys
nuts.
living in Port Authority.
Did the train still come?
Oh, I mean it's right next to the train track. It doesn't stop there though anymore.
You grew up next to the train tracks?
I've
How-
never verbalized any of this out loud, but it does sound insane.
That's all I would.
What a
I would walk into every room and go, "I grew up next to the train track."
I did, yeah. You
When a
wake
train would go by.
at night all the time.
We talking.
Talking to train. That's what we're talking.
I don't know what kind of trains there
It's
are.
not a commuter. It was like
No,
like
it's
a
a
coal
big
car.
like a coal cart. Yeah.
There's not people waiting outside the bedroom to catch the 603 to work.
Should be by in a minute.
It's been running late all week.
What else was in the neighborhood?
There was this place. It was a candy store, a clock shop,
That's like any
a
town,
church.
USA.
Yeah, small town. Yeah.
Your dad's church.
No, we were in another city. We weren't in the
shit, where
same
you
city. I mean, yeah.
All right, hold on.
Did your dad build this church?
He started it. Yeah. Like build the building?
Yeah.
No, he didn't. I think it was in a strip mall.
What? Dude.
You know, churches now are like those cool pastors. You ever seen those like cool Justin Bieber's pastor?
Sure, yeah,
They
yeah,
meet
yeah.
in converted Home
No, I
Depots and
know.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Churches aren't like old school churches aren't cool anymore.
For sure. It's not like an ornate Catholic.
Would
Nah, I didn't.
would your dad lean more Joel Osteen than like what I'm thinking of as like a pastor in like a small town church?
No, I mean, we would do a lot of. This isn't gonna help me my cause, but like speaking in tongues. You know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you pray for someone, they fall over because the Holy
Did
Spirit.
you ever
is,
fall
course.
over?
Yeah, they put a blanket over you.
No kidding.
Man,
Where were you
I got to go to church after this.
Where were you baptized? Were you baptized in like a river or something like that?
I was baptized at once we grew out of the strip mall, we split a church. We rented a church from a Seventh-day Adventist because if you don't know anything about them, they meet on Saturdays. They believe the Sabbath is Saturday.
Okay.
So you
So
guys
they-
got Sunday.
Yeah, so we're just like, we'll just
It's like a
take Sunday.
timeshare.
You're in a church timeshare.
Yeah.
And did you guys have baptism?
That's where we had a baptism. I got baptized at the Seventh-day Adventist church.
What was the body of water? Was it like
water?
Yeah, but was it like
Oh.
it was
like
like a pool, a tub?
Yeah,
a
it was like
bath?
it was like a pool up behind the stage, and it's like elevated
Okay.
behind it.
So it was in the church. It
yeah,
wasn't
it was
like
in the church.
Okay.
Oh, not like in a river.
Okay.
When
Yeah.
do you do that in your religion? When do you get baptized? Not when you're a baby?
No, I was 9.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Was that a powerful experience? I imagine it would have to be.
Yep. So I remember
Cold.
my dad. So he's like, you ever heard of like someone getting like saved or like converted?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So he kind of draws out this like, basically like he's like, God is here. Humans are sinful. They're here. There's a chasm or a canyon in the middle. The cross of Jesus was like kind of so you can be with God. He kind of drew it out on a 2x4 while he was doing construction.
Okay.
I only say that because that's how I accepted Christ, and they still have the 2x4.
But you saw he explained it to you written on a 2x4 when he was doing construction, and that's what saved you.
I got seen that. I would like to do that.
Whoa.
That's awesome. I feel like you feel that. I don't remember anything. I was a baby.
But was it what? Oh, they just blessed you or something?
Yeah, it's a Catholic church.
Yeah. It was like a you kind of can't be saved before well, everybody has the different age of accountability.
No,
Some say it's 6 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't make a decision on the eternal life
Hey, you're telling me.
So you're making so
What
you make the decision? You say I want to be saved?
Mm-hmm. You have to. The Bible says you have to profess with your mouth and believe in your heart.
Man, that's fun. Do you guys have a party afterwards? A little something?
Well, we went to a Mexican restaurant.
Really?
Yeah. I have a joke in my show now. It's like
all over the place.
I can't get a read. He's living in a train station. He's going to church at a strip mall, and he's hanging out at a Mexican joint after his baptism. The craziest guy I've ever met.
I just picture you sitting there soaking wet, eating chips and salsa.
The seat's all wet.
They have towels for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did your dad move into after you? How big's the congregation?
We have to get back to the train station.
I know.
Train
that's
station.
crazy.
This is fascinating.
Converted train station, which my parents bought for like $25,000, all
big?
cash.
Like
Probably beautiful, I would assume.
It's redone now. Yeah. It's in Lilburn, Georgia. It's like the kind of the city center or whatever.
the train station is.
Yeah, people come on like tours of our house, like
They still live there?
Victorian home tours.
Wow,
Can I
that's
find
awesome.
it?
Probably.
That's probably nice. Is your dad handy?
Yeah, he builds everything.
No shit.
Yeah.
So what did you guys move into after the strip mall?
Then we went to it was in like a building, a racquetball court.
Wait, did you say a racquetball court?
Oh yeah, racquetball court.
I tuned out for a second. We're at a racquetball court in church now?
There you go, baby.
That's it.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Okay,
Wow,
that looks like
look
a house.
at
That's
that.
more,
Yeah,
more house than
yeah,
I was.
yeah.
I was
Did
in
he
America.
do all that?
Yeah, he did all that.
brickwork?
Yeah.
Man, that's
Oh.
gorgeous.
American flag, baby. Is that good or
Yeah.
bad? Does that go towards
That's
me?
a classy,
great.
beautiful home.
Does that help me or no? American
What-
flag.
No, yeah.
Good. Yeah. You got a sign. That's
yeah.
that's
Real
that's
classy.
very classy.
That's
yeah.
a nice spot right there.
Yeah.
And I'm
Nice
sure the
spot.
property value on that's gone up.
Way up.
Look
Way
at
up.
you.
Good for
Okay.
okay.
yeah.
All right. So we
All
got a
right.
little
Oh,
house.
yeah. Here we go. Here we
All
go.
right.
Yeah.
So your dad did okay. Your dad was doing okay.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
big's the congregation now?
Well, he left to become the mayor of the city.
Why didn't you fucking open with that?
Shoot, he's the mayor of Lilburn, Georgia.
Are you
Your
kidding
dad
me?
is.
Yeah, he left yeah.
Holy shit.
Dude, I've said it a bunch about other guests, but I cannot get a read on this guy. Your
dad's
he is
the mayor?
all over the place.
He left being the preacher to become the mayor
Holy shit. The mayor.
of Lilburn, Georgia. Johnny Crist.
That's Johnny. Vote for Johnny Crist.
Yeah.
How could you not?
Yeah, you crazy? He's got the railroad house. Plus 8 goons running around.
Yeah,
know.
right, yeah. All of varying degrees of, success.
What
No
what are some of
kidding.
the other professions that the brothers and sisters do?
Okay.
got a school
one's
teacher in there?
Well, we got a pastor.
You had another pastor.
Pastor. We got a guy that two guys work in finance.
Okay, pretty good.
Yeah, one's builds homes
Nice.
Great.
and one works in real estate. I'm a comedian.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's a good. That's
Sharp
a,
family.
That's
Yeah.
a sharp, good family.
If you would ask my dad, he would say scoreboard. He's like, my kids are, look at them, they're all successful.
Killing it.
Yeah.
He's the mayor.
He's the mayor.
Yeah.
That's coming from the
How
mayor.
long's he been in
That's
office?
a guy you can
Yeah.
trust.
Well, I went to rehab in 2019.
Hey, here's to that.
Goddamn train running by the house every night. Who's not going to want to have a drink?
I'd be a little on edge too. You know what I mean?
With the rehab.
Other than that, yeah, the blemish on the record.
Did you go to college?
I went to Sanford University on walked onto the tennis team.
Get the. Had you ever played tennis before?
Yeah, I played all. Yeah.
I don't fucking know. He's
how-
Chris, man.
That's not
They're
how
good.
that works.
He's sitting there one day, he picks it up, he goes, "Feel the power of Christ," and just walks out, starts acing it.
I'm going to college with this. It's gonna take me everywhere I need
Wait,
to
where
go.
were you playing tennis?
At the Lilburn City Park is right across the street from the house because of the train station. All they had was tennis courts, so we just played there.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You got good enough to get you walk on?
Yeah. I didn't have anything else to do. I just played all day.
Was there a
Really?
TV in the home?
No.
No TV.
No TV. No.
What was the entertainment? Just books and stuff? Like what was
we
the
would
treat?
listen to the radio.
Listen to the radio.
Yeah,
AM,
we listened
FM?
to the Christian radio 91.5.
The
out to it.
Hawk.
Yeah, W105. We would, so they would, like, in 1991, the Braves were in the World Series, and my dad rented a TV.
Whoa.
And we would watch the games, but when the game was not on, my dad would put a black trash bag over that he didn't want.
Is that signals? Is that radio signals? Is that
He
just
didn't know outside influences,
okay?
coming into the. We're not allowed to turn it on until the game.
Wow.
It was very like, in a lot of you see a lot of that today, and like very, how everybody's like, the drag queens are going to read books to the kids. Like, is that really happening? We're not sure, but they're terrified of it.
Sure.
Gotcha.
The right is.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah. So your dad was more of like the idea of this happening.
It's terrifying. Yeah,
It's
everybody
terrifying.
like very my mom, they decided somebody told them the more Christians, the more kids you have, the more you could populate the earth with Christians.
Yeah, I mean, my mom's Irish Catholic. My mom's one of 9. It's the same.
I like how everything else was objectionary, and I say that, and you're like, well, that lines up. Yeah, you go, well, that
these old world people are crazy.
that I buy.
His
That I
family
buy.
was more to
Bad pull-out game.
forgot to stop at the pharmacy. Wait, so all right. hold
Yeah,
on.
no, I need
How
a
did-
minute.
how did you-
Let's go catch a smoke. Or
Hold on.
something.
Your brothers are in finance. So you guys must have been good in school when you got to. Did everybody eventually go to a regular high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Did you do good in high school?
Uh,
Were you a good student?
no.
Really?
My brothers were, but like I think a lot of I have like a whatever you call I had a learning disability when
Gotcha.
I went because they were like, take the test. We don't know what grade this guy's in. The system had never seen me.
This guy's 38 years old.
He's like Alf. They don't know what to do. What the heck?
So they
Eating all
took-
the tuna fish.
Why is he like that?
They've never seen anything like him. They don't know what grade he's in. He's like the Kembe Mutombo. They don't know how old he is.
Who is? Remember? Yeah. So they go. Well, you have to take this test to see what grade you're going to be in. So then
Right.
I show up, and then
You got
I'm
your
making
tennis
friends
racket
with these
with you?
kids. Yeah, I'm making friends with all these kids. In like 6th grade, I have this like on the other wing, this class where you like playing memory and like saying
Sure.
the shapes and like triangles. I'm like, does anyone else have this class? They're like, we never
Uh-huh.
heard of that
Is
one.
anybody
It's-
else in shapes and sounds?
Yeah, it's like
101?
it's in the like the elementary building,
Mhm.
and I found out like after I graduated that I had a learning disability that no one told me about, and they're like, they're just like go 6th period, just go up to Miss Nora Lahi, and she's gonna teach you about triangles and like if you rotate a triangle, when does it matter? Like
Sure.
very.
Yeah.
Did you ace that class?
I think they got my brain up to where it
Yeah,
was
up
supposed
to
to
speed,
be.
yeah. Filled in
Nah,
the
I was
holes.
never ahead, but I could
Yeah.
survive.
Huh.
Yeah.
Growing up, you guys would, I would assume, sit down, have dinner together.
Every night.
Your mom cooking.
Every night.
How
Yeah.
was she in the kitchen?
Aces, bro.
Yeah.
Lights out.
What was your favorite that she did? Where you're
Lights
like,
out, man. The roast beef was unbelievable.
beef.
Would
The-
she make like
the
biscuits and
potluck-
stuff like
yeah,
that?
from like, dude, she had my dad got her a wheat grinder
Whoa.
to like,
She's
you know how
doing
like
it.
somebody like makes a muffin, but like, yeah, you made it from the thing.
It's in a
From the
box,
box.
or whatever. Yeah.
What did the box make it from, and what did they make
She's
it from?
doing that.
Like starting with grain
Really?
can make bread.
That's awesome. So it was homey. Loving home, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't numbers wise, there wasn't enough love,
Sure.
just time wise to go around for everybody. So that's probably why
What
I
a
do.
very diplomatic,
Yeah.
very mayoral way to say that. I would say.
But everybody was on board. It was cozy. It was homey.
Oh yeah. And your brothers were like kind of your best friends.
Sure. You guys
Yeah.
were out running around playing
Yeah.
tennis, football, all that
yeah,
kind of
not
stuff.
football, not
Does
allowed.
anybody not talk to each other? Is
No,
there any,
everybody's friends with each
everybody's
other
still
now.
friends?
Yeah.
Wow, good for
And
you.
everybody's kind of different. I have a lot of jokes in my act about the family group text because everybody's married to a regular person
Really?
or like
an
outsider, and we're not.
Whoa.
Yeah.
When did
He
you?
just called us outside.
No.
Like I'm some sort of freak.
An
I think the word you're looking
expatriate,
for is
I,
heathens.
I grew up in a normal house. I'm
a
wacko.
regular person. Yeah. So,
Hell dwellers.
So everybody, I think has had this that they go and
It's just shot.
the in-laws are chatting. They're like, the Crists
They're nuts.
are
these guys.
nuts.
Yeah. Have you guys? They were going. Have you? The one.
Until I have those muffins, and they shut the fuck up, huh?
The one won't go near the microwave. It's great, or like whatever.
Yeah, like there's a lot of like obviously my parents are a lot of vaccines because they don't because the Amish don't believe in healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
They're like if it's God's will. You know, like
So what'd you do when you got sick as a kid? Wrote it out?
wrote it out.
Damn.
And my brother, we were playing something in the park one time, and I kneed him in the temple, and he was laid down for
That's
hours.
a goocher. That'll take you
Right
hours.
Here. Laid down, and we couldn't. And my mom was like, "Drink some Sprite."
Get that sugar in you, boy.
Yeah. And so it was probably 5 days. He literally couldn't get up. He couldn't get up. And finally, reluctantly, we laugh about it now, but they took him to the hospital, and they were like, if you had come in here another...
Yeah, his brain swelling.
He was swelling with blood. His brain was... he has a giant scar all the way down here because...
They had to open him up or whatever?
Yeah, drain the blood from his head. Because we don't... It's... God created... I'm not joking. God created... Like, there's a lot of Pentecostal churches that handle snakes, poisonous snakes. You know, people have done documentaries.
Right.
They're like, we believe that if you get bitten, I don't believe this.
You don't have any snakes on you right now, do you?
No. That it's God's will, you showing faith by handling these snakes. I don't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's logical
snakes,
to me.
If the snake bites you, that means you're a bad person.
No, that means, that was God's
You're
will.
going,
for you
I
to
trust
die.
God not to hurt me.
And I'm
going
going
to
to
go
to a better place anyway. I'm not on board with that.
That's
but
I can draw that line.
You know how
I wouldn't pass the snake test, I don't think.
You know how
You wouldn't pass the triangle test. Just bring it back.
You know how the Mormons do like soaking and stuff like that? You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay, we
You know
don't.
soaking?
The sex thing?
Yeah. Okay, weirdo. I don't know why you said it like that.
Where you just put it in and
But
sit
you're not
there.
allowed to
Yeah.
miss technically not sex.
And then you get
Is it
somebody
true they
to
have
sit
someone to work your hips? Is that true or is that a myth?
Somebody under the bed.
I hear that they call it like a thrusters.
Well, I say in jest about other sects or denominations that are more extreme, but we're kind of with the, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't do that, but virginity is very important.
Yeah.
And then, so they were like, that's a loophole, which
Gotcha.
is, you know, does that make sense?
I like loopholes.
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
So you can see, you're like, the snake handling, that doesn't really make any sense. But you're like, one or two before that is like,
yeah, where's your line?
we believe that that God is, but then I believe, we're like, well, you should take some Tylenol if you're. But nobody would do like an antidepressant or.
And how are your parents as far as you expanding, like you coming up with your own way to live? Like you,
Yeah.
Are they
Well,
cool with that?
Well, I started doing comedy for the first like 10 years in church.
Gotcha.
Yeah, a lot of you Southern guys do that.
Yeah, I was just doing the churches.
Probably done it.
By the way, Southern guys are killing it right now.
Yeah, the
Everybody.
Southern guys are
I
killing
mean,
it.
You
Yeah.
guys are on one.
Nate, Dusty's been through
Never
here.
heard of 'em.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
When's
These
the
guys are
first
killing
time
it.
you saw TV? Like, when's the last time you? So you didn't grow up watching like
No.
sitcoms
No,
or anything
no,
like that?
No, never. No, we didn't like anything like Rugrats or that was all like
Shut up, Rugrats.
Caillou. He was like, you know, mean to his
know.
parents. Like
Yeah, I know
all
you're talking
we saw like.
Would you see this at your friend's house? Like,
Yeah, like a friend's, we would go over for dinner and they would be like, the Disney movies, I remember, like, seeing The Lion King and you're like, what?
yeah.
This is unreal.
You're spitting
So
at
were
the
you-
TV.
Were your he's there with snakes. Your friends.
Nah.
Yeah. So your friends were obviously they wouldn't be like me. They were also still more religious and conservative.
What are you?
A fucking dirtbag. You know what I mean? Like you weren't coming over and we weren't stealing my dad's smokes or whatever.
No.
Yeah, so like they were still more reserved, but they were just
still
how
Christian.
They were still Christian based.
But they maybe went
Church
to
of
school.
Coors Light.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had, you know, TVs.
But yeah, so
but it was very limited.
what they even that had. Yeah.
What we were allowed to like. If the parents were eating dinner, what's going on in here? What movie?
Your mom and dad want to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything because they want to kind of
Can you keep the reins.
Yeah.
I get that. Okay.
yeah.
When was the first time you saw a porno?
Dude, I saw.
Why did you whisper it?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I saw me and my brother were riding bikes at this place called the Mud Flats, where like it was like we'd ride bikes down there all the time, and we rode. There was a ditch. I never forget this, and there was a Playboy open, and I never. I mean, I had to been later than other 10.
Yeah.
and me and my brother Joe, we looked at it, and we knew we shouldn't
Lord
see
save
that.
me.
Yeah.
We knew we were out.
We knew, bro, and that
Talk about Rum Springer. How you
Oh
doing?
yeah, we knew. But then I'm like every other. I'm still a human. Like I remember laying in bed that night and trying to figure out a situation where I could
Get back there and get your hands on it?
go
Without
back.
telling, were you planning on
Yeah.
telling your brother? Not to, no.
No,
I gotta
no,
get
no,
back
no, no.
there.
I gotta go. Hey, I gotta go. Like try to organize a situation where you
You're
could.
gonna go get there on your own.
Yeah.
I left my gun back in
I'm gonna go baptize myself.
Whoa.
Huh?
Man. College was somewhat
And
normal?
sorry, 1 second. Wait, okay, yeah, go. No,
College was... When do you start getting out into
Is
the
it-
world?
Is
Yeah.
that a religious college?
It was Christian
Christian-based.
college where we had like then we had it was Sanford University, but there was like a proxy on the. You couldn't just look up whatever you wanted on the internet. I mean, this is 2002, but they had filters on the internet,
Damn.
so you couldn't type in like boobs or something. They would be like, nah, and then somebody would, hey, you can't be doing that.
No
Never.
shit.
Yeah, people get in trouble for that all the time.
Holy cow, they know?
So then, the internet was different back then because there was like you had to enter this like secret website to get around.
Yeah.
My man, loopholes. Huh?
Yeah, but people are always.
Johnny Luke, I'm gonna start calling it.
Oh yeah,
Mud flaps and loopholes.
Mud flats. Not mud flaps. Mud flaps is a fucking stripper
mud
bar.
flats. Yeah.
I'll go down to mud flaps.
All right.
Now, what's your relationship with medicine now? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think if you're gonna break your wrist and you're gonna put it in a sling, people's brains the chemicals aren't firing right, and then you're just like, hey, let's give you some so we can fire them right, and people are on their feet. I got no problem with an antidepressant.
What'd you go to rehab for?
Alcohol.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you off the booze now?
You're 5 years sober.
Congratulations, man.
Because of the Lord. Well, I always argued the Lord might have got me there, but he also got me out.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
what is that?
It's a joke, but yeah.
Where does the logic fall on that?
Where does he? Yeah.
So like, is it that you didn't follow his plan and started drinking?
Well, what
And then
happened
he
was,
got
so
you
I
sober?
started. I never touched alcohol till I was like 30.
Whoa.
I never and
I feel you got to start younger.
Yeah.
I started young, and
Yeah.
all my buddies that didn't do anything until later, they then
yeah.
go after. They make
Yeah,
up
I
for
started.
lost
I
time.
started young and I ended up in a bad spot. Forget about that.
Buddy, you're still in a bad spot. Hey, we got to save you somehow.
He's like, I think there was a lot of, in terms of sheltered, very sheltered. Don't
Of
show them
course.
anything
Right,
of the world.
course,
don't
yeah.
don't. But we're gonna. The flip side is like we're gonna learn it. We're gonna see. You're gonna figure out masturbation
Right.
at some point, whether you tell us about it
I went to rehab for that.
or alcohol, and then I started becoming like very popular in Christian circles.
Yeah,
and then
that's how I remember getting exposed to you.
And then I had to like kind of it was so stressful and everybody knew me, and then I started like having a kind of like a secret life because I was so.
You didn't want that stuff public.
And then the shame of church. That's what we joke about. You go to church to try to get rid of the shame, but the religion also gave you the shame.
Causes you shame.
How? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tricky.
You go to church? You still go to church now?
Mm-hmm.
You're very connected?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Fascinating.
Wild story.
Man.
Huh? What was the first job?
Chick-fil-A.
Whoa.
Yeah, because we weren't allowed. It's Christian.
No Were you not allowed to work at like a pizza place or nothing like that?
No. Because, dude, think about that. What you mean, dude? Think about your parents raising you, and then you're just gonna go
To go work with you at a pizza shop.
Yeah, these heathens out there. You don't know what they're.
You'd be like, cigarettes are good, kid.
Wait, but they figured Chick-fil-A
I
was
see
okay
Joe
'cause it was-
Pesci from Home Alone.
because they figured he just saw that.
This is unbelievable.
I'm lost in New York.
This new movie, My Cousin Vinny. Wait, so they figured Chick-fil-A because it was Christian,
next
you
to a
could
train
go work
station.
there.
Yeah, it's Christian. But think about if you like when we go to the Amish community for Christmas for fun at night. Okay, they play shuffleboard. That's
with the stick.
Yeah, and
shuffleboard?
everybody kind of watches. That's like everybody gathers around. Then
But they're not doing Christmas. You just go up there at that time.
Yeah,
of the
it's a
year.
holiday because the harvest. The seasons are switching.
You guys are on the almanac.
Oh, no shit.
Can't be held down to it.
Wait,
To the 25th.
So they don't
the-
celebrate Christmas, but there is a holiday around that
Yeah,
time.
because
of the year
everybody has
'cause
been
of the
planted.
harvest.
And then if you're like, let's say you're making things, you still have to. You're selling them to the people that they're off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're a machinist, you're like, well, we sell our carts to, and they're off for the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
So they do They
They observe a time off.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But in terms of religion, if you go, these people are, what does somebody in New York need to do to get a little dopamine rush? They need to drink, smoke, look up.
Now we're talking.
No, drink, smoke, get with some girls, get on social media, go to a rave, and the Amish people just to get the same high, play shuffleboard. Aren't they winning?
Listen. Yeah, I would argue it's like if you watch too much pornography, you then
Get
start chasing the
desensitized to
dragon.
it.
You get like, well, I'm
Yeah.
desensitized
Yeah.
to. I mean, if an Amish guy came and lived a day in the life of you'd be fucking, he'd go
Yeah.
nuts. You know what I mean?
I would get quote high
Yeah.
now after I would get some DoorDash and then gamble on the late West Coast NBA game after my show because I'm kind of
You're still
I
chasing
used
the
to
high.
go chase like
Booze and stuff.
yeah,
What
and I
was
don't do that anymore.
What was the drink of choice, if you don't mind me asking?
Man, I would drink grapefruit Deep Eddies.
What the hell is a grapefruit deep Eddy?
What do you
Is
mean?
anything normal with you?
That's what Moses drank.
You get grape juice in the desert? What are you
Deep
talking-
Eddy?
Deep Eddies. You know what that is.
No.
We find that it's just 7-Up. Nothing on that?
Oh, Deep Eddy
yeah,
is a
Deep
brand.
Eddies. Yeah, Deep Eddies vodka.
Oh.
Grapefruit vodka. But I would just
It's
like
just
this-
straight, or
yeah.
like you're just straight?
I never understood like socially. I was like, this feels awesome to get drunk. So
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's awesome. Dude.
No kidding.
Don't have to sell us on that.
Yeah.
Vodka grapefruit.
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
say, if you don't mind me
Yeah.
jumping in here a little bit, what would that look like? You do a show and then have it after. Did anybody in the green? Were you hiding it in the green room?
Yeah,
it
dude,
was like
we went on this.
who knew?
Jesus.
The Lord.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
we went on this tour. This arena, this Christian arena tour.
Guys are killing it.
It's called Winter Jam. So it was a bunch of bands. I was the comedian on it, and it was a dry tour. So you can't, because of the witness, you don't want the Christian. You don't want them to see you drinking.
Of
obviously.
course, yeah.
So everyone would have to put it in like another. I mean, we're all in our adults.
30s or whatever.
Yeah, and then when someone tells you can't do something, you want to do it.
Yeah,
So it's all in like Gatorade, and then everybody. You've been on a tour bus. There's the bunks, so
Yeah.
everybody's drinking alone, which
In
is
like a
which
12-bunk
is
bus.
way worse.
Yeah.
That's how you become an alcoholic.
Yeah.
because you can't drink socially,
Mm-hmm.
so everybody does it in private.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow, what a wild story.
but alcohol didn't really because I came across it later.
What was the first time?
Man, the first time I ever drank, I was at this Christian camp.
Mhm.
Was it a vodka grapefruit?
No, it was a beer.
Okay.
And and I was 20, late 20. They told me we couldn't drink, and I was like, no, I'm drinking, because somebody told me I couldn't, which this makes no sense.
Sure.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm getting around the
I'm
rules.
getting on that.
Would your parents, would your dad have wine or anything?
No, dude,
They
my
don't-
parents.
I didn't know because at the,
They're not, dude. They're not.
the blood of Christ.
They're not
I-
Guidos.
That's.
They're not Guidos out in Sheepshead Bay.
No,
But
what
my
do you mean?
parents went to somebody invited them over for dinner, and they had pasta sauce cooked in wine, and they went home. They
No
said we're
kid.
not doing that.
Guidos.
Yeah,
Can't have penny olive vodka?
no.
That's nuts.
But there are a lot of people that are of the same denomination of Christianity that drink.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So it's where you draw your line, or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
And it's hard to come down on anybody. Like every church is like, this is what we do.
Sure.
And then you're like, dude, like my parents didn't really believe in birth control, or they're just like,
Sure.
God is going to open and close the womb as he sees fit.
Man,
It's all right.
You're interesting.
But your parents are
interesting
okay
man.
with how you live your life? To a
Yeah,
degree.
Yeah. They think they're still kind of look at the neighbor. They were still have like they would still talk like. Yeah, they're like still gossip about other people. So I kind of just saying these things out loud is like, dude, they think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But it's all I never like would cuss or anything
in
my
front of
show.
your parents.
No, in my show or anything.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, Southern guys play it straight. They really do.
No Crystal Light growing up?
Who are all these other Southern guys?
I don't know. You, Nate,
Dusty.
Yeah.
What were you drinking at dinner?
That's the three wise men.
Oh, sweet tea.
Sweet.
Yeah, because sugar was
Yeah.
all systems go.
No,
No,
any soda?
sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You allowed to have soda?
Yeah.
That's a
Later.
Sprite for the headaches.
Later.
For the brain contusion.
Yeah.
Would your mom ever make Italian food? Like, would you have spaghetti and meatballs?
Spaghetti.
Yeah?
Spaghetti. Oh, yeah.
Would you guys go out to eat as a kid?
Well, you got to think about everything's 10x.
Right.
So we would go to Taco Bell, and after church, and I never forget this. We would go Taco Bell. We beg for it, but we could never go out to eat because everything's. It's a lot of money for 10 people.
Sure.
Yeah. So he would get it was like a pyramid of soft tacos.
Uh-huh.
Probably 30, and then one drink.
One drink.
Yeah, and whoever drank the last one go fill it back up.
Oh, you'd all share it.
No, everybody shares it.
Yeah.
And then it's free refills. So,
Suckers.
which I don't think that's
Loophole.
yeah.
Johnny Loops.
Another loophole.
What was the family car?
A van, like a 15 passenger van.
Like a church van, like one of the
church
big-
van. Yeah, we'd all ride in that. Yeah. And we'd all dress alike.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, we'd all dress the exact same.
What'd that look like?
Like everybody was wearing like a matching outfit.
Like every day?
When we went out.
You went out, everybody put their white thing.
Your
and
mom
their
and
black
dad
pants
too?
on.
No, all the kids were matching in like, overalls or something like that.
Really?
Nice.
I'm just saying these things out loud for the first time and it sounds insane.
Just saying, that's a lot of overalls.
Yeah.
A lot of hand-me-downs, I would
Tons.
assume.
Yeah, I didn't have my own. Yeah,
there
you just
you
give it to
go.
the next kid. Yeah, a lot of gender neutral outfits.
That
Your mom
makes
was
sense.
crushing all that laundry?
Yeah, we had once she went into depression, we had a laundry lady.
You guys just come into the laundry.
Yeah, just laundry.
Okay.
Imagine that.
Brenda.
Shout out
Brenda.
Brenda.
Was
Yeah,
she
shout
in
out
the
Brenda.
church too?
No, she's on the other. She was.
Yikes,
yeah.
outsider.
Yeah, they weren't allowed to talk to her.
Any?
You weren't allowed to talk to her?
Well, she was kind of a loose cannon. Yeah.
I'd be too. That's a lot of socks. I'd be drinking on the job, a little Deep Eddy vodka.
Deep Eddy.
Deep Eddies, bro. I can't believe I just said
Couple
that.
of Deep Eddies.
Let's go.
What huh?
But if you get like it's probably 2000. I've been doing stand up for 15 years, but I mean, what I always go, what was the plan? Like I got Instagram and it was posting funny videos. Girls were like, "What's up?" And I was like, "What?" I mean, we've all experienced it, but you guys have sure experienced it because
Nope.
Yeah.
Have you seen us?
I get a lot of guys that look like me going, "Hey, where'd you get that meatball parm?"
My husband's a huge fan.
Yeah, they go, well, I just like kind of get bullied a little bit when I went to that school, and then all of a sudden you're like,
You're cool.
I think comedy makes people that otherwise look at all these comics that are not socially or that would fit in. Comedy makes us cool,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Hear that, Luke?
Yeah,
Take that.
comedy makes us cool.
No,
and my
you're-
compression
you
socks,
agree.
yeah.
I agree. I'd be a construction worker if it wasn't for this.
Yeah,
Would you have chores? Hold on. Would you have chores around the house?
Yeah,
God,
chores.
they're probably on a chain gang.
We had every Saturday we wake up and there's a list.
Cut the lawn, do this.
Oh yeah, cut.
And
the
it looks
lawn,
like from
cut
the old man
grass.
likes to keep the place nice.
Yeah, gotta be clean. Everything's gotta be.
What
clean.
was the cushy job? What did you want? Did you want
Well,
the...
so there's the front yard, and then it was the front yard, and then the backyard was in half. So it's top half of the back or bottom half of the back, and
There's
then
a hill.
yeah, there's a hill. So you wanted the top half because the water went down to and it was thick down there, and the top half, you're out of there. The bottom half,
No pool, I assume.
no pool. We did.
Can you swim?
Yeah, yeah, I can swim.
Where'd you learn how to swim?
This girl Ashley Stewart's house.
Shout
She had
out
an
to-
above ground pool.
There you go.
We went
A
over there.
loophole.
Yeah, we went over there. She was wearing a blue bikini one time.
Yeah,
It was wild.
she was.
It was wild.
Yeah.
I'd never experienced something like that before. It was unbelievable.
I know that.
Let's talk about now.
I got. Oh, sorry.
No,
Well,
please,
what,
I'm sorry.
what was a vacation? I guess up to Lancaster.
We would go to we drive to national parks and stuff.
National park.
Like Yosemite, Yellowstone, seeing the geysers. And
Okay.
Everything had to be kind of homeschool. Everything was like a homeschool
Extension.
learning.
Let's go
Yeah.
look at the
Educational.
caves or
We learned about the Mount whatever Rushmore.
And
Let's
then
go
what?
see it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was, every vacation was learning.
No video games.
No, dude.
So when you would go to bed at night,
They put a trash bag on a TV after the Braves game.
we Super Mario Brothers. One of our buddies had it.
yeah.
Bum, 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 bum,
That probably
bum,
blew
bum,
your
bum.
brain,
Oh,
no?
blew my brain.
Were you aware that video games existed?
No. I mean,
Nope.
we never heard.
I mean, that's
no.
like trying to explain the internet to a dog. You're like,
So,
there's a TV, then there's a guy, you play, you run around, you jump in a plane's mouth.
So
you
what
gotta-
would you do at night?
Tetris was just. I mean, this is what we had never seen something like this.
What would you do at night before you went to bed? Would you read?
There would be a lot of building, a lot of reading. The Hardy Boys.
Hardy
That was
Boys.
kind of.
That's not bad.
Good,
Yeah,
clean
Hardy
fun.
Boys
Yeah.
was wild, dude. And
That
then
was
there's like Christian music. You know,
Everything was, curved.
What
you know
time
any
was
Christian
lights
bands?
out?
You ever know any Christian bands?
No, not really.
Dang, DC Talk, Chris
Yeah.
Tomlin,
Mm-mm.
nothing. Hillsong,
Mm-mm.
none of this.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no Hillsong.
Hillsong's the church, isn't it?
Yeah, Hillsong's a
Yeah.
church. Yeah.
That guy packs them in, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Moose tickets. The Southern kids are killing it right now.
Pack some in.
What time was lights out?
10
Like
o'clock. 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
That's not
At 10
bad.
o'clock.
And how many were you in a room with?
5.
How many bedrooms was this
It was
train
one
station?
big room above the garage. My dad built the garage.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, your own little outhouse. Your
He's
own
like,
little...
we were moving we got a lot of bodies up here. So it was like
It was detached from the house.
kind of, the beds were kind of on the walls
Mhm.
and they were like in the, like a,
That's a little bit of independence, so where you're like
yeah,
away from the
we're
main
on-
house.
yeah.
I
You
like
and
that.
the boys to bond a little bit?
Yeah, all 5 boys over there.
I like that.
What were the
That's pretty
Christmas
cool.
presents like?
Well, the one of our grandmothers was kind of doing well.
Mhm.
So we always went up there to Christmas.
What's well?
The dairy.
Uh-huh.
She owned the dairy, so
Okay.
we would go up there for Christmas, up to Lancaster, and she was doing well.
But she wouldn't get you like G.I. Joes and stuff like that, right?
No, like a Scrabble or something like that, or like a
Scrabble's doing well?
like a horn, or like
I got a G.I. Joe headquarters and that'll blow your brains out. You kidding me?
He got that for Christmas this year.
But
That's
wouldn't
what I
you
got.
want to? If you could, like, starting now, like when I went to rehab,
Mm-hmm.
it was obviously no drugs, no alcohol, no women, no caffeine, no sugar, no fiction books, no. Even if you got a runner's high from working out, they wouldn't let you do that. So in essence, it was so sad and depressing and horrible, but it reset the.
I
You
would
go
love
out
that.
and have a chicken
Reset
sandwich.
your levels.
Yeah, you go out and have like a Sprite, and it was like.
So now shuffleboard's cool again. They
Yeah,
made
dude,
shuffleboard
going
cool
to
again.
like the park with my nephew, I was like playing golf. That's it. Rehab.
You good at golf?
Great at golf.
What do you
yeah.
shoot?
An 8 handicap. Me and
Pretty good. You and
me
Nate.
and Bargatze play a pretty good bit.
What's he hit?
No
What's he?
He's
what's-
about a 6, but we play
Yeah.
straight up when we gamble.
Yeah, you
yeah.
do.
Oh, we're gambling's kind of. That's a new.
That's
thing.
where you draw the rule.
No, that's where we kind
You're
of.
allowed to?
Not
It's a-
really, but I
Hey,
kind of like.
I ain't talking to nobody.
He wasn't allowed to drink the Ed Hardys or whatever the hell they were either. Did it?
Well,
The Harvey Wallbangers.
DraftKings was like, hey, we want to sponsor for my podcast,
Mhm.
and I was like,
What's that promo code looking like?
yeah, or what would my fan base, would that
Of
be?
course.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't do like one of the sex, like,
Adam and
companies.
Eve or
Gotcha.
something.
I wouldn't,
Yeah.
but
Either would we. That's
We do.
promo code garbage.
but you go, I don't know. Like, Christians are kind of. I always have a joke about it in my show. Like, we're kind of easing up on gambling now. They're
Really?
like, yeah.
That
I
makes
gotcha.
sense.
Which all my act is very like these things are put into perspective.
It's you, it's you, yeah.
Dealing with
but
it.
I'm still in
Wrestling
it.
with
I'm
it.
still
Yeah, of
in
course.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what the whole thing is like. Well, what are we allowed?
Well, it's
to,
like, yeah, this rule was written whenever, and now
Yeah.
there's DraftKings. So let's how are we coping?
So
with
how? And if you pray for a team to win and then you bet on it, that's faith.
There you go. Huh? Nothing wrong with that.
it? Huh? Man.
But
Jesus likes the
But they've
over.
been looping. They've been making loopholes. Like I think Adam Carolla had a bit about. He goes, every religion that was ever man-made, it was like, what do the guys like to do? Like Rastafarian, like, oh, we got to get rid of. What about weed? They were like, hey, what about multiple wives? Yeah. There's a lot of going on, and that's what my act is. Yeah.
When did you get your passport?
Ooh, I've had one forever.
Forever?
My whole life I've had one.
Really?
Yeah, my parents took us to Europe as a kid. My dad was preaching over there for something.
Very cool.
I went. I've had it for always. I've been to like probably on church missions. I've probably been to 30 countries.
Oh,
No kidding.
way.
Yeah, and Christians are also easing up on that too. You're like, we shouldn't be going over there and telling them how to get to
Sure.
heaven. Maybe. Yeah, we're like, this
Fall
is
back
probably
a
not
little.
helping.
You ever do the thing where you guys go to like an island and talk to like a tribe or anything like that?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. Build them a well or something like that.
Get the fuck out of
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Holy shit.
I'm going one in like a month.
Nuh-uh.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to Peru.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I'm going to Cancun. It's some of that deep Eddie in me.
Deep Eddie's.
Maybe I'll catch you on a layover.
Deep Eddie's like, what? Sales are going up. What happened? I was like, oh, yeah, there's this guy that was heavy into Deep Eddie's.
All right, a couple questions for now. Very well put together.
Very well.
I keep getting eyes on that
Oh, yeah.
Shacky.
You're a sharp guy. You're a very sharp guy.
What brand is that?
I don't know. Stylist.
It ain't Amish.
Stylisted. You're doing press and stuff.
Press,
That makes-
yeah.
Now, do you own that, or do you got to give that back?
I own this one.
You own that
yeah,
one.
Yeah.
Nice. How many? Do you know how to tie a tie?
Mhm.
How many suits do you own?
About 6 or 7.
6.
Wait, hold on. You said a stylist put that together for you? Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, the Tonight Show.
But Tonight Show, yeah, they got me.
And I'm Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll be right back. No kidding.
They made looking good over there. Yeah, but I think that's only because I've been able to, like rich people look better.
You're doing well.
Well, they have.
We do pretty well. We still look like shit.
You know how there's those photos of like if Brad Pitt was like middle class, he wouldn't. Yeah.
No, for sure. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw him the other night. He was going out to dinner with Bradley Cooper. I don't know what the hell he was wearing.
Yeah, he looked. but
what were
that's
you
cool.
wearing at the time
Yeah.
you saw it?
I think I was in my underwear.
That's like a not Billy Madison, Adam Sandler. He dresses,
Yeah.
but he dresses like that ironically.
Yes, of course.
That's what people don't understand. They're like, dude, in the South, it's big. Like, do you have this mullet?
Yeah, now
Ironically-
it's cool. 'Cause the South is cool. Like the Southern culture
Yeah,
is very cool.
NASCAR. Are
Country's-
you at this
Yeah.
race ironically,
because it's a thing to do,
or like
did you grow up?
OMG Dale Earnhardt Jr. Or are you like, or do you love Chase Elliott?
Pitt was wearing something goofy. It was like oversized jeans and like a weird fluffy shirt. Bradley Cooper's got a regular tee on, jeans, and nice fit.
Hey, page
Yeah.
6. We got an Amish guy over here. Shut up.
Have you ever seen Page? Do you know who Brad Pitt is?
Page 6. I don't know what page 6 is. Yeah,
Oh, man.
What kind of car you got?
a Range Rover.
Yeah, you do.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're doing well.
Oh yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well.
Do you own the house out in Nashville?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Oh,
does.
the place out there, huh?
that was always
Will the family come
Good
out?
for you.
the family come to my house.
Yeah, he's killing it. What are you talking
yeah,
about?
yeah.
I'm not. What did I say that made it seem
I don't
that he
know.
wasn't doing well? Just told me a fucking Land Rover, a Range Rover.
Yeah, but you always like it was well, I don't do churches anymore.
Right.
So I mean the past 6 years I haven't done a church just because I think the relationship's a little tricky. You're paying money to see me, and that's kind of what led to my rehab/cancellation. Is like we thought he was going home to read the Bible because we saw him in church and I wasn't.
So like there was I see what you're saying.
So
there was a
now-
responsibility to live
Yeah, like if you were like a missionary to a foreign country, like we're all sending you money, you can't have a Range Rover because you're
yeah.
like the preach. That's the argument about the preachers these days. Is they're on the tithe. You can't have a jet because you told us you were
Kenneth Copeland got Tyler Perry's jet.
Yeah. That's a rub. So if I'm working in churches, you can't really be like flexing.
Right.
on a private jet.
I get it,
They
because
hate-
I feel
yeah.
bad that I quit smoking cigs. I feel like I let our fan base down. So I get what you're saying, just from another angle.
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
I got you. Yeah.
I mean, that's a very commendable thing. So you stepped out of that to make it more.
Well, I
open.
just think it was a little, and I wasn't living.
How you felt you should be living.
Yeah, I was
Gotcha.
living
Of
a
course.
secret.
Yeah, no,
Living a secret,
of
and now I'm
course.
not anymore.
That's a
So,
respectable.
yeah.
living like 20.
Yeah. So if I
that lead that I know of.
Wait, so when your family, when your mom and dad come over at the, you got the TV and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. They have a TV now.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Times
God,
are changed.
again.
We don't have a TV.
God's-
It comes with the train station.
Yeah, God is loosening. My joke is like, God, when I was growing up, there were so many rules. Now, God seems to be chilling
Okay.
You can only fight it for so long.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
everything's
yeah,
you know.
Are you doing Christmas now? Did everybody come to your house?
out. Nashville. We did Christmas in Nashville once. Yeah.
Are you doing the best of the whole family? I would say, financially.
Oh man, I don't know about that.
Your
that.
brothers are in finance.
Yeah, it is kind of a. Is it like that in your family? You're just trying to guess how everybody's doing.
I know my brother's killing me.
Oh yeah, he is. Oh, yeah. So if you guys
Buy
go to,
me and sell me.
so if you go to dinner, he picks it up.
no,
No,
I
he
do.
does it now.
I
you
do it now.
Yeah, but why?
Because
never
I'm
had
trying
a
to
di-
make up for being a scumbag all my life.
We lived off our brothers for a very.
Yeah, but now
long
you're
time.
doing You're doing better.
We're doing very well. I don't
Yeah,
have a
we're doing
Range
very well.
Rover.
Yeah, we're doing very well. Yeah, this is everything about this is unbelievable.
I
know
got
where,
TV.
Yeah, I see. I know where your podcast ranks. Yeah, you're doing.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't.
You're doing very well.
I got a stylist.
Yeah.
Wasting my time with you guys. All right. I mean, listen.
Yeah.
Whew.
Gotta have you back.
What is there a final verdict or what? How
Well, I
do we-
mean, you're trash for sure. There's no way around that. Very tough to bounce back from with the Amish, the train station. Although it's very nice, you know.
That's craziest story.
I mean, yeah, you're 100%. We've barely scratched it. You and Dusty Slay have the only.
yeah.
We only made it till Dusty's 18th birthday to
Yeah,
graduate high
really?
school, and then we have to. Yeah, we.
What
have,
was your verdict on him?
what?
What?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. He's become
He was
more.
in the army for like 45 minutes.
He's become more like conservative and Christian, not conservative in a political way, but
Yeah,
like he's
just-
more.
yeah.
Hey, we're gonna remove ourselves from.
That life.
We're going farming. We're gonna make.
He's got his
sure-
shit together too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's tightened it up.
You guys, you eat deviled eggs?
That's hilarious that you asked that. We didn't.
No kid, because they're deviled eggs.
Yeah, we didn't.
I just because
yeah.
he asks everybody that. I
Oh,
didn't
you
even
do?
put
No,
the devil.
Yeah. Angel food cake is what we had, brother. Yeah, we don't do devil's eggs. No.
With paprika?
Yeah. It was all a lot of stuff like that. They were like, like
So no devil's food cake.
No, like stuff like horns or like any kind of
Horns?
Like,
How often are they coming across?
Who's eating?
take the horns off that pepperoni.
Did you ever heard like if it like backwards masking, like if you listen to AC/DC backwards, it's
Sure.
like the devil is in your yeah, that kind of stuff. A lot of fear of unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. For
Does that make
of
sense?
course, yeah.
Hey, you missed out on a lot of good horn. I'll tell you that.
Would you say Pizza Hut or Domino's?
Pizza Hut for sure, because the personal pan we read a lot of books.
Yeah.
Remember that?
So you were allowed
Yeah.
to do Pizza Hut.
The book it.
Yeah, dude.
book it
We would
program.
we would come in there we would ride our bikes
They'd
to
be
the
crying,
library.
yeah.
Game over, dude.
Oh God,
It's a
here come
wrap.
the Crist.
They had to
There's
change
10
the
of 'em.
policy.
There's 10 of them and they don't have a TV. We're screwed.
Hide the cups.
Quick, throw the horns up. Scare them off.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Crist.
Amazing. What a story.
Honor to be here.
Unbelievable.
Honor to be
Yeah,
here,
man.
Check out Emotional Support on his YouTube page. Check out his whole YouTube page. And, of course, he's going to be kicking off the fall tour in Las Vegas, Nevada, the Encore Theater, August 31st.
No gambling.
No game.
No gambling.
None.
We'll see. Well, that's a big deal.
Depends
about
on the spread.
We're going to the Christians coming to Vegas is a big. We would never do that 10 years ago.
I mean, that's a test of
Yeah.
God's will.
It's a see, yeah. But now Christians are cool about that now.
There you go.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
loosened up.
loosening the belt.
Loosened
a little
up.
bit.
Loopholes, baby.
Yeah.
It's all about the loopholes. Buddy, that was absolutely fantastic. We can't thank you
Yeah,
enough.
that was amazing.
Honor to be here.
We love you. Anything else you want the folks out there to know?
Nah, dude. Anything, dude. Come by and say hi. If you come by through a meet and greet or something like that, if you've come from RE Garbage, that would be awesome.
Go.
If
Yeah,
somebody
everybody.
says, because a lot of like I think, like the comics that pods put me on the map.
Yeah,
That's everybody would say. Like Theo,
yeah.
Nate, Andrew Santino.
Love those guys.
Those
yeah.
were the guys that
The
were
best.
like, Tonight Show is like my first ever credit.
Mhm.
Same
it was
thing with us.
all
Yeah.
doing my own thing and comics.
The podcast, the comic podcasters have been the most supportive.
Yeah.
It's like it's a great community.
I think
to
it's
be part
awesome.
of.
Tom, Tim,
Or Bert, too.
Everybody,
Yeah, yeah.
everybody's been great.
Stavi, everybody.
Yeah, we got to figure it out.
Yeah.
We
We
gotta
love
figure it
buddy.
out.
We love you.
Thank
Yeah,
you, man.
thank
I
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much for
Appreciate
coming.
Absolutely.
Kippy, what do you got for him?
We're on the road. The fall and winter dates are on sale. AreYouGarbage.com. Get your tickets before they're gone.
Gang, we love you. We'll see you next week.
Peace.